All right, speaking of absentee ballots, how often do you think about your signature? You know, forensic document examiners think about it a lot. Maybe not yours, but anytime there's a question about authenticity of a document, it's their forensic expertise that gets called upon. Idaho is about to become one of the premier labs in the country for forensic handwriting analysis with the help of a document expert from Spokane. Investigative reporter Alex Duggan spoke to that expert and ISP's forensic director about what solving crimes through handwriting really means.
Idaho State Police Forensics is working hard to expand their full-service lab. ISP Forensic Director Matthew Gamet brought in forensic expert Brett Bishop from Spokane to show ISP scientists how handwriting analysis is done so local investigators can solve crimes more efficiently.
We're one of very, very few states in the country that will be able to offer this type of examination. So we're anticipating that we'll have cases come in from Idaho. We'll anticipate that there will probably be requests for agency assist from other agencies in other states on high-profile cases that they need an assist from us.
Gamet says some cases that require forensic document analysis may sit on a shelf because of lack of funding and ability.
If the investigators don't have that ability to do that service at the laboratory, they're not going to collect the evidence. They're not going to request the evidence be done. Someone may not look at doing that type of analysis if they know it's going to cost the city or the county $20,000 to do that type of analysis.
This is all starting to change with Bishop's help.
Forensic document examination is a very interesting discipline. The reason why I enjoy it is because of the wide variety of cases that you see. It can be harassment letters where people don't like the way they've been treated, or a variety of circumstances as it relates to that, to murder scenarios, suicide scenarios, murder for hire, witness intimidation, where you have guys or individuals in prison writing to their buddies on the outside, hey, we got to get our stories straight. We got a trial coming up.
Bishop analyzes the paper a note is written on, the ink from a pen, or even the ink from a certain type of printer to help investigators eliminate or narrow down suspects.
Basically, what we do is we get known writing samples of the individual, of who it's supposed to be. And then we ultimately have our questioned signature. And we're looking for handwriting characteristics within those signatures. So we're looking at like line quality, we're looking at proportions, we're looking at height relationships, spacing, we're looking at stroke direction, speed, pressure, so a variety of handwriting characteristics.
Bishop says people can't change their handwriting habits no matter how hard they try.
Generally, people are consistent, and there's going to be habits that persist in their handwriting.
Especially if you've been writing it for years. So if you're wondering about, a more frequent and practical use of handwriting expertise, we kind of already mentioned it. Outside of a crime lab, how about what is coming up in about 2 weeks? That's when Idaho's election officials will be making sure all the absentee ballots are legit using these same principles. So for a hands-on, but by no means expert experience, Alex and Joe Paris, they tried to see if they could spot the fake signature and the red flags using some of these techniques.
So Alex spoke with forensic expert Brett Bishop, and we're going to work on some handwriting analysis here today. Alex kind of learned some of the telltale signs of if someone's trying to forge a signature. So she's going to do her signature. I'm going to try to forge it, and she's going to tell us kind of the telltale signs here that I got it wrong. Again, we're not experts, but we do have some insight from Mr. Bishop. So let's see it, Alex. Let's see your signature here.
Okay.
Again, we're not experts, but we're trying to show you here what handwriting analysis kind of looks like. So there's Alex's signature, and if I was a bad guy or if I was trying to do something, I'd say, all right, well, I really want to forge this signature, maybe on a check. This is a tough one to forge, I'd say, because it's a lot of loop, de-loop, 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 and then I see a D, and then I see some G-A-N. So that's not bad. That's pretty good, I think.
So that's actually pretty good. The only thing that I would say is that it's kind of a red flag when your little loops are really big compared to, see how mine are like narrower and there's more space in between them. Yours are more blended together, and also you picked up your pen. So when you pick up your pen, it means that you're trying to go slower. When you pick up your pen, you're looking at something and you're basically trying to mimic it in a slower way so you can get it correctly. But the more correct you try and get it, the more maybe worse it looks.
All right, so let me go again. So this time with a little bit of a feedback on how to better forge a signature. I'm going to try and do it a little quickly and try to go right away. So kind of loop, de-loop, 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 de-doop, de-loop. I don't know. That's tough. That's okay. So that's probably a dead giveaway because I didn't even get the signature.
But that looks like something that I would sign at like a Subway or like an iPad or getting coffee or something. Like, which is funny though because Brett told me that he compares multiple signatures like that. So he classifies signatures in 3 different ways. And like one can be just a careless type of signature. So technically you could say that this could be my signature, but in the way that you did it was, I mean, see how the A is a lot bigger. So he's looking at height, he's looking at stroke, he's looking at pressure, and the pressure that you have, like mine is pretty light, but you can tell right here and right here that you really push your pen down.
Yeah, you can see that the lines are a lot thicker than yours. I guess I didn't. So pen weight and really the pressure.
Right, and then the speed of the stroke. So you can kind of tell you were going a little bit slower because your letters are wider, and that's kind of what he explained to me is that, you know, the stroke and the speed and the things that you're using to sign, like the pen and the pen ink, can also play a little bit of a part into it.
So there you have it. So I did my best to forge your signature, and I think the first one is actually the
This is
closest,
not
isn't
that
it? All right, let's do one more here, just for fun, just as we wrap this up. So I try to do that, and then I don't even. The problem
But then
is
the way that you're like, you're going out and then back in, and he can trace your stroke.
Oh, okay.
So like he can follow it and just know that you turned back and then you went back up. I didn't do that. I kept going. I kept going this way, whereas you went this way, that way, and then back that way. And he can trace that. So it's really, it seems hard for us, but it's easier for him to tell what's a red flag and what isn't.
Just practicing Alex's signature here. I don't even know how to do a cursive X anymore, so I couldn't do it. ISP is already accepting cases to start working on next month, so hopefully we'll get to see some interesting crimes, or as interesting as document investigations can be, solved shortly.